of our top story.
Whoa! The police have just fired tear gas again for the second time.
I need a glass of red wine.
That's no tyre.
Wouldn't want to be hit with those walloping sticks they've got. It's truth.
We're now leaving the official Kurdish region. Oh my gosh, look at everybody.
Sit in the car, okay? Sit in the car.
This is when I love my job. I just don't like the idea of a rocket launcher.
Sophie McNeil is one of the new breed of video journalists who, with access to affordable and small digital cameras, now work across the globe as one-man bands.
Yeah, would you prefer if we do interview now and questions and then do the filming after?
Sophie directs, films, records sound,
If you just sit on an angle a bit.
and interviews for her own stories, which she researches and develops herself.
Can you tell me about Halati and its history here in Kurdistan?
Yeah, I guess I always wanted to be a journalist from when I was really young, from about 8 or 9. I used to watch the news most nights, read the paper, and I think partly it's because I grew up in Perth. And in Perth you felt far away, and I wanted to go out and actually see things for myself. And yeah, I always wanted to be a journalist. I watched this documentary when I was about 14 about East Timor. I sat there for 45 minutes and my world got changed, you know, this issue that I'd never been taught about at high school, you know. No one had ever said the word East Timor to me in my life.
Within a year of seeing John Pilger's powerful documentary, 16-year-old Sophie had raised money, borrowed camera equipment, and got herself to East Timor to make her first film.
Are you the only doctor here, Dan?
Yes.
There's this amazing American guy called Dr. Dan,
How many people on average do you see a day?
who was seeing like 500 patients a day in this run-down, ramshackle clinic with like no electricity, no running water, no medicine.
That includes a lot.
It was shown at schools and at, you know, Rotary clubs and things like this, and it won this award.
Seven years after making that first film, Sophie is now a full-time journo, and her latest story has taken her here to Kurdistan in northern Iraq. It is her first time here. For the last 4 years, Sophie has worked for SBS Dateline, who pioneered the use of the video journalist style, where the journalist is often part of the story.
This is when I love my job. At a time like this, I just love it.
Sophie has been based in Beirut for 2 years and primarily covers the Middle East. And she is still only 23.
The craziest Valentine's Day ever!
Today's filming of a kind of Kurdish Valentine's Day is a brief respite in a hectic 3-week shoot for Sophie before she starts her main story on a terrorist bombing. Sophie, did you work out who all this is?
Pardon?
You worked out what this is, who they are?
No, but I feel like I should make a wish too. It looks lucky. And I think here in North Iraq you need as much luck as you can get, so I think I should probably tie something to the tree before we leave on Saturday. So yeah.
Today, Sophie will travel out of the relative safety of Erbil into the disputed and dangerous city of Kirkuk, about 2 hours away. Even for such a short trip, she needs armed guards and a backup vehicle.
When I'm going into a country, if it's the first time I've been there, then I rely on my fixer so much.
I don't know, it's not black though. Is blue okay?
Like your fixer is your best friend when you're there, and it's also the best way of understanding what it's really like to be a local and live there.
Now I look like a Peshmerga.
What's he saying? The small amount of knowledge that I might have gained from kind of reading things on the internet, and then I get to a country and I'll be like, oh, I want to go there, or I want to do this, I want to talk to him. You know, and the fix will sometimes be like, number one, okay, no, you can't do that. No, you cannot go there, and no, he will not talk to you. How's this?
Now you have a blue hair.
Blue hair, exactly.
It's not dangerous blue hair.
Okay. This is a piece to camera Dateline style. We're now leaving the official Kurdish region and we're driving into Kirkuk, which is the disputed city that both Baghdad and Erbil want to have control over.
Since 2003, the city has been plagued by car bombings and attacks as Iraqi Arabs and Kurds battle for control. But for the Kurds, it's an important symbol of their oppression and the struggle for recognition. With Saddam now gone, thousands of Kurds want to return.
What's it like now living back in Kirkuk?
والله جيان مانية أنا والله بيزاري أربع قرآن حزك الإنسان خوان دل ما كنت بعيد بليون ضروري نزات ما نبي ديرها.
What did she say, Berzo?
What kind of life do you expect here? Of course, very bad. Like, our life is nothing.
I remember the first time I ever came back when I was 16 from East Timor, and I'd get angry at people. I'd get angry at people back home. Hi. I don't get angry at them for having a good life, but I do find it hard to understand why people don't care. I find that hard. Do you live here? I wish people cared more.
Gonna be 6, 7.
We were going to go with like 4 cars of Peshmerga. Was this the original plan?
Tonight, Sophie meets with her new fixer, Mr. Shahzad, to plan a potentially dangerous journey to the remote settlement of Sinjar in northern Iraq. With them is head of security Haval, who will determine how much extra protection she will need. As a white foreign female journalist, Sophie would be a prize catch for insurgents.
Will they come back through the dangerous part?
Yeah.
Havel thinks it's safe with 6 or 7 cars.
I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I don't like being scared. I hate it. That's not addictive at all. I don't enjoy that at all.
If we have less than that, he thinks it's not safe. We need 6 or 7.
Like, I really don't do this because I'm looking for a thrill. You know, I do it because I think more it's this infuriating, frustrating part of my brain that wants to find things out. You know, that's what drives me.
Oh, bloody hell.
The next morning, and Sophie is preparing for a potentially dangerous drive in an armed convoy across part of northern Iraq to the town of Sinjar. She will be protected by a 20-strong team of Peshmerga, Kurdish government troops.
Inside, not outside. Like this.
It won't fit.
What?
You know, I don't just do stupid things. You know, it's calculated risks. But, you know, my family back home, they don't know that. You know, they just think, oh, she's in Iraq, you know, and they just will freak out.
How much does it weigh?
I don't know, 20 kilos.
Really?
I know, too much. Better off just running.
That's the biggest thing that I worry about now, is stressing out my family.
Hello.
You know, my parents and my sisters. I hate this, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't do this because I love it. Like, I hate guns, I hate all these security guards, I hate all these soldiers. Like, I don't enjoy this side of it. It doesn't feel cool, it doesn't feel tough. It's just, I'm scared.
You're less nervous now though, Sophie.
Yeah, just I saw the rocket launcher. I just don't like the idea of a rocket launcher. You know, I'm only doing it because I want to tell this story about these Yazidis, and no one's told this story. You know, it's one of the world's biggest terrorist attacks, and so many people died, and no one really cared because it happened in some random village up in North Iraq. Where's the first aid kit? You know, we want to tell that story, and so this is what we have to do. I just think if you put a rocket launcher in the back of the car, why not just bring 6 ambulances behind us?
You with this guy? Yeah, coming here.
Yeah.
This guy. You with this guy?
You know, I'm a bit nervous about this road. Always have to wear my special necklace that my sisters gave me. You know, I've got my
my boyfriend's jacket on. So, yeah, I was totally superstitious. It's ridiculous. But what else do you do? You know, you're very practical and you go through, do everything that is reasonable and, you know, that you have to do. And then you just kiss your locket for good luck. So, here's our convoy.
With the convoy ready to travel the dangerous road to Sinjar, Sophie changes her mind about staying the night there. Now, she decides to make the return journey by nightfall, which will be added pressure.
No, but I want to plan it right. I don't just want to go to any of the bars places. I want to do 2 hours of very good work, yeah? In the biggest place.
Okay.
That's all. I think this is the best plan.
Okay, they're gonna take us to the main place.
Yeah?
2 hours, then we drive back.
Now, I just think that this is the best plan.
Yeah, that's great.
They all agree?
Yeah.
This is the new plan?
Mashallah.
I think this is just safer. And I've been told I'm not allowed out the car because I have yellow hair, and yellow hair is bad in this place.
Okay, so even if we stop, you don't get out. Stay in the car, okay? Pull you too. Okay.
When?
Anytime we just...
In Hatanya or now?
No.
We're going to see the survivors of the world's third most deadly act of terrorism since September 11.
ليرة زادك ايرو باش زور باشنية بس ما حماية مانها اشكال مانية بس هيك ناترسل لها مواجهة المواجهة ما نطاني مواجهة يوان ممكن هر شيء بين.
We're heading outside the safe Kurdish area to Sinjar, a small isolated town near the Syrian border, about 100 kilometers from the city of Mosul. I'm given my orders to stay down low and not to open the tinted windows under any circumstance.
أجر عبواد عبواد يعني عن بعد دقيقة يعني برجعي حساس دقيقة أو مشكلة. سامي رامتش حتى بيد.
I think it's totally normal to be scared, and I think it's good for a journalist to be scared. And I think the only way of dealing with it is to think, well, okay, I'm on this road, it's terrifying, and it's probably the scariest thing I've ever done and will do for a long time, but, you know, I am leaving tomorrow. The guy next to me in the car, or the people I'm about to interview, this is the only road they have. They do this every single day. So it's like sometimes in order to get a story, you have to put yourself in the shoes of, you know, the people there. It's just for a few hours or a day.
This time, there are no incidents on the road, where attacks by insurgents are frequent and deadly, and Sophie has every right to be anxious.
Might have been a few weeks even after I got back, and I remember opening up the newspaper and reading that, you know, on the road to Sinjar, 14 Peshmerga had been killed. That was really full on to read that, and I got really upset. We were there on that road, and, you know, that was real, and those people were real. And those Peshmerga, you know, risked their lives to protect us. So it reminds you, I guess, of just, yeah, how lucky you are to have that passport to get out of there.
After a tense 4-hour journey from Erbil, Sophie has finally reached her destination outside Sinjar.
We reached the scene of last year's blasts.
Where did the car blow up?
At 7:15 p.m. on Tuesday, 14th of August 2007, 3 cars and a tanker drove into 2 Yazidi towns on the outskirts of Sinjar. In a coordinated attack, all 4 vehicles exploded.
إيرا زور همو خاني بو أو بدين قرع زيري قديم أو قندكي كامل بو همو رخاوة زيادة للصد خاني اللي تيكتو.
As news of a Western journalist spreads, a rarity in these parts, people quickly gather.
Oh my gosh, look at everybody.
No,
it's okay. Don't tell him to go. Don't tell him to go.
No, he doesn't go.
Okay, I just
house.
Okay, first I'm just taking... No, just keep talking to him. No, it's okay. Okay. Don't... Okay. So I'm going to try and talk to as many people as I can. Say I'll try to talk to as many people as I can. Okay. Could he just stand here and point at his house?
We are quickly surrounded by people, each with their own story of tragedy from that day. Haider Ali Tata lost his brother, his wife, and their 3 children in the attack.
بيجبري مهات أزل ملي خو بكم فاجري وأفا ذرغام وهبية هردوجي زاروكي مبون هردو زاروكي مبون خاني بسر هردو هذا كات.
Okay, just wait 1 second. I just need to get a picture of his house.
Because of security concerns,
I know.
Sophie has only 2 hours here, and time is running out.
Do I have lots of people saying lots of good things already? Okay, now I need more pictures.
Sophie is under intense pressure to get enough good pictures to accompany her interviews, which have taken so much time.
I haven't had any pictures. I need to take pictures.
Okay.
Where are we going now? Haval, Shazad, why is he saying I have no time?
This is a part of the business, that...
You have a responsibility, I think, as a Western journalist going into a situation to be really brave and to really try and investigate something and do a good story and to try and show the reality of the situation.
They tell me there are 70 to 80 missing people believed to be still under the remains.
نا آب نا كهرباء نا قصر نا سريشانك تشتي هادش بين ناحية جيرة.
With little left except their faith, the Yazidi wonder why their plight has been ignored by the world.
I need a glass of red wine. Look, it's just rush, you know what I mean? Like, there's all this effort and just energy and people's time and safety, risk of that. And just to do this really quickly, like, I wish we could have spent more time then. I felt really guilty. Everyone wanted to talk to us, everyone wanted to tell us their story. But, because of safety reasons, we could only stay for like an hour. We couldn't stay in one spot for too long. So you just feel kind of terrible. Like, you rock up, and they all came. Like, there was just, there would have been at least 200 of them who wanted to talk to us. And, we could talk to about 5 or something, and quickly grab all the shots we needed, and then, now we have to race back. But I think, it's better than nothing. It's better than not doing anything. But, it's still, you just wish you could tell so many more stories here. So it's just all these constraints that make it so hard. Hi.
Hi.
It's fast. Thank you.
Thank you. It is the next morning, and Sophie is en route to the remote settlement of La Lesh, the spiritual home of the Yazidi people.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's Friday here in the Middle East, so that's day off for everyone. And we thought, none of the Yazidis will come to the temples today, or it'll be deserted because it'll be pouring with rain. But now it's snowing, so we could get there and it'll be really pretty, and maybe there'll be heaps of people.
These temples were built by Yazidis, descendants of sun worshippers
Theirs is one of the world's oldest religions. Ancient monasteries and temples mark the centre of Yazidi worship here in Lalesh.
I'll just get some pictures of her with the baby. Hello. The thing that I've learnt in the Middle East, the biggest lesson I've learnt from the people there, is to appreciate everything, you know. So they do, amidst all the crap that they have to deal with in their daily life, they do try and, you know, have a laugh, have a joke. I mean, they're great at it, you know, they appreciate every moment, every wedding, every dinner, everything is celebrated there. The people are great. This is what always amazes me, is just how you just rock up to some literally random temple in the middle of nowhere and just say, hi, I'm from Australian television. Sure. We had that lady take us into the temple, let us see her pray, do this kind of ancient ritual, and she was great. This is what always makes a story, is the people, and I think we've been very lucky here. Sara. Sara. Zor Sara. They're really keen for us to tell their story, and probably maybe they also haven't had many journalists come up here, so they're not kind of bitter and cynical like some people in other parts of the world who've had a million journalists and just, you know, over it. Oh my gosh. Zor Spas, thank you so much. It's exactly what I need. Oh. Niha. I've just gotten really sick. Like, I think I have a sinus infection. All these days in the freezing cold. Ideally, I just go curl up in bed for 3 days, but I just can't do that. You don't have time. Like, you know, my story's on air in a few weeks, you know, and I can't just freeze everything for 3 or 4 days while I get better. I just have to keep working. And, you know, I fly out in a few days and I've got to have all these tapes translated. Like, there's 4, I've got about 20 more tapes that need to be translated. I've got to finish shooting all these things, and there's a chance I could be spending tonight, like, on a mountain waiting for an interview. I'm trying to email my mum to ask her, should I go buy antibiotics or not? Because I don't like taking antibiotics. So I called. Yeah, I should be on Skype later. Yeah. Okay, see you, Clint. Love you. Bye. Bye. My mum's not home.
In late 2007, Sophie won Young Australian Journalist of the Year. Part of her prize was a trip to London and New York.
You know, I'm incredibly lucky to have the job I have now. Incredibly lucky. And if I looked around, I don't know where else I'd get the opportunity to do such a thing. I don't know, I mean, you'd like to think that what you do makes a difference. Sometimes totally doubt it. A few years ago, I did a story about Burmese refugees kind of camping out on the Thai border. I got an email from someone saying, oh, by the way, I love that story you did. You know, now I'm in Thailand working with Burmese refugees, you know, you really inspired me. And that was just like the best email I'd ever gotten in my life. And it's like, if I get an email like that every few years, probably keep me going.
I was interviewing a Hezbollah sheikh in Beirut once for this story, and I asked him some really tough questions and did a really in-depth interview and was, you know, followed up questions and said, you know, hang on, what about this? And at the end of the interview, he said to my translator, this one, she's not like a woman, this one, she's like a man. And that was like a big compliment.
We're driving to the scene of another clash. This is a money shot of him.
Just bawling their eyes out. It's just heartbreaking.
Play, I'm recording now.
I'm going to kill him.